Hello, friends. Have you ever felt like you're running as fast as you can, but you're still on a treadmill? Working harder, but falling further behind? What if the problem isn't your effort, but your operating system? For decades, one book has been the code to reprogram that system. Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This isn't just a time management book. It's a manual for living with integrity, courage, and deep connection. And today, we're going to walk through its entire blueprint. This is not just about doing things right. It's about doing the right things. Imagine 2 maps. The first is a detailed street map of downtown Chicago. The second is a map of the entire state of Illinois. You're trying to get to a specific park in a northern suburb. If you're only using the Chicago map, you can work incredibly hard. You can be efficient, take the quickest turns, obey every traffic law, but you will never, ever get to that park because the fundamental problem is you're using the wrong map. Covey says our lives are governed by these maps, our paradigms. And if our paradigm is based on flawed principles, like life is a competition, or my worth is based on my productivity, or I'm a victim of my circumstances, then no amount of effort on the wrong map will get us where we truly want to be. The 7 habits are about shifting your paradigm from one of dependence to independence, and finally to interdependence. It's a journey from the inside out. Habit 1. Be proactive. This is the foundational habit, the space between a stimulus and our response. In that space, Covey says, lies our power to choose. Reactive people are like a soda can. When life shakes them up and pops the tab, their contents come fizzing out. Anger, blame, victimhood. Their emotional weather is determined by the social weather around them. If people treat them well, they feel good. If not, they become defensive. But proactive people are different. They carry their own weather. They may be influenced by external forces, but they are not determined by them. They use their human endowments, self-awareness, imagination, conscience, and independent will. Let me tell you about Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor. In the unimaginable horror of a Nazi concentration camp, stripped of everything, he realized one thing they could not take: his freedom to choose his attitude. Between the stimulus of brutality and his response, he found a space. In that space, he found meaning. That is proactivity in its most profound form. The language of reactive people is, I have to. He makes me so mad. There's nothing I can do. The language of proactive people is, I choose to. I prefer. Let's look at our alternatives. Your circle of influence. Draw it. Inside it, put things you can actually control. Your effort, your attitude, your words. Outside it, in a larger circle, is your circle of concern. The news, the economy, other people's opinions. Proactive people focus their energy on their circle of influence. They work on what they can change, and miraculously, as they do, their circle of influence expands. Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. Close your eyes for a moment. Fast forward to your 80th birthday or your funeral. People who know you, family, friends, colleagues, are standing up to speak about you. What do you hope they say? What character did you show? What contributions did you make? What difference did your life make in theirs? That visualization is the essence of Habit 2. It's about leadership, not managing your way up the ladder, but making sure the ladder is leaning against the right wall. Most of us are climbing our ladders with incredible efficiency, only to reach the top and realize it was against the wrong building. We chased society's definition of success, the title, the car, the accolades, only to find a hollow victory. Covey asks us to write a personal mission statement. This is your constitution. It's not a to-do list, it's a to-be list. It defines your core values and principles. For example, a mission statement might be, to be a force for patience and understanding in my home, and to create work that empowers others to live healthier lives. Every decision, from a career move to how you react to your child spilling milk, can be run through this filter. Is this aligned with my mission? One executive I know keeps his mission statement 5 simple lines in his daily planner. Before a big meeting or a tough decision, he reads it. It centers him. It connects today's frantic task to his life's true blueprint. Habit 3. Put first things first. This is the habit of execution, of personal management. Now that you're being proactive, habit 1, and you know what your end is, habit 2, how do you organize your days to build that life? Covey introduces a powerful matrix, 2 axes, urgent and important. Quadrant 1, urgent and important. Crises, deadline-driven projects, pressing problems. We live here by necessity, but if it's our only home, it's exhausting and reactive. Quadrant 2, urgent but not important. Interruptions, most emails and phone calls, many meetings. The world lives here. It feels productive, but it's a thief of time. Quadrant 3, not urgent and not important. Mindless scrolling, trivial busy work, excessive leisure. This is the zone of waste. Then there is quadrant 2, not urgent but extremely important. This is the heart of habit 3. What lives here? Planning, relationship building, exercise, learning, preparation, prevention, spiritual growth. These activities don't scream for our attention. No one is emailing you at 3 a.m. about building a stronger relationship with your teenager. No alarm goes off for strategic thinking about your life. The key is to schedule quadrant 2 activities first. Block the time. Protect it. Because if you don't, quadrants 1 and 3 will consume every minute of your life. Think of a jar. If you fill it first with sand, the urgent, unimportant stuff, there's no room for the big rocks, your quadrant 2 priorities. But if you put the big rocks in first, the weekly family night, the 2 hours for deep work on your project, the morning run, the sand will somehow fit around them. Habit 3 is the discipline of putting your big rocks in first every single week. Now you've achieved the private victory. You are becoming a principle-centered, integrated, trustworthy person. You have integrity. You make and keep promises to yourself. This is the absolute prerequisite for the public victory, for building lasting, effective relationships. You cannot have strong relationships with others if your relationship with yourself is built on broken promises. Trust is the glue, and it's built in the small moments. It's the emotional bank account. Habit 4. Think about win-win. Most of us are scripted for win-lose. Life is a zero-sum game. For me to win, you must lose. It's the paradigm of competition in every arena. Or its doormat counterpart, lose-win. I'll lose so you can be happy, and I'll resent you for it forever. Win-win is a frame of mind and heart that constantly seeks mutual benefit in all human interactions. It's not a technique, it's a total philosophy. It says, let's find a solution that makes us both feel good and committed to the plan. A father used this with his son, who was struggling in math. The old paradigm was a power struggle. You will do your homework or lose your video games. win-lose. It created resentment. The father shifted to win-win. He said, "Son, I want you to succeed and feel confident. You want to have free time and not feel stressed. What can we do together to make both those things happen?" They co-created a plan. 30 minutes of focused math right after school, with the dad available to help, followed by free time. The son felt heard and invested. His grades improved not out of fear, but out of a shared agreement. Win-win requires integrity to stick to your values, abundance mentality to believe there's enough for everyone, and empathy to genuinely want the other person to win too. Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. This is the most important habit for communication, and in Covey's view, we usually do the exact opposite. We listen with the intent to reply. We're already formulating our counter-argument while the other person is still talking. We filter everything through our own autobiography. Covey calls this diagnosing before prescribing. Would you go to a doctor who, before you even finish describing your symptoms, cuts you off and writes a prescription? Of course not. But we do this constantly in our relationships. The key is empathetic listening, not to agree, but to understand, to get inside the other person's frame of reference. You listen with your ears, yes, but also with your eyes and heart. You listen for feeling, for meaning. You reflect back what you hear. So what I'm hearing is that you feel overwhelmed because the deadline moved up, and you're worried the team will blame you. A couple was on the brink of separation. They had talked at each other for years. A counselor taught them this habit. For the first week, they were not allowed to voice their own perspective at all. They could only paraphrase their partner's perspective until their partner felt truly understood. It was awkward, then agonizing, then transformative. One wife said, through tears, "After 10 years of marriage, I felt heard for the first time." When people feel understood, defenses drop. The emotional bank account fills. Only then can real problem-solving begin. Habit 6 is synergize. This is the habit of creative cooperation. It's the result of practicing the previous habits. Synergy is when 1 + 1 = 3, or 10, or 1,000. It's the idea that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. It's not just compromise, where we meet in the middle, 1 + 1 = 1.5. It's finding a third, better alternative that wasn't apparent before. Think of nature. A single tree provides shade. 2 trees together can create an ecosystem, supporting moss, birds, insects, something entirely new. That's synergy. In business, a team with diverse skills and viewpoints operating in a climate of trust, win-win, and deep understanding, habit 5, can innovate in ways no individual ever could. They build on each other's ideas. They aren't threatened by difference, they're excited by it. They value the mental, emotional, and psychological differences between people. A simple example. 2 sisters fighting over the last orange in the kitchen. They compromise and cut it in half. One sister takes her half, peels it, throws away the peel, and eats the fruit. The other takes her half, peels it, throws away the fruit, and uses the zest from the peel for a cake. If they had only communicated deeper, sought to understand each other's needs, they could have had a synergistic solution. One gets all the fruit, the other gets all the peel, and both get 100% of what they wanted. Synergy is the fruit of the first 5 habits. Habit 7. Sharpen the saw. This is the habit of renewal. Imagine a woodcutter who is sawing furiously, tirelessly, but the saw is getting duller and duller. You say, "Why don't you stop and sharpen the saw?" He replies, "I can't. I'm too busy sawing." How many of us are that woodcutter, burning ourselves out in the name of productivity, neglecting the very instrument of our effectiveness, ourselves? Habit 7 is about preserving and enhancing your greatest asset, you. It's balanced renewal in 4 key dimensions. 1. Physical, exercise, nutrition, rest, stress management. You are not a machine. You need fuel and maintenance. 2. Social, emotional, service, connection, empathy, building intrinsic security. This is nourished by practicing habits 4, 5, and 6. 3. Mental, learning, reading, writing, planning, stretching your mind. 4. Spiritual, clarifying your values, meditation, prayer, time in nature, consuming great music or art, connecting to your core and to a larger purpose. This isn't a nice to have, it's the habit that makes all the other habits possible. It's the upward spiral. You invest in yourself, you become more effective, which gives you more clarity and capacity to invest in yourself further. One CEO committed to sharpening the saw by taking a 1-hour walk in nature every morning. No phone, just movement and reflection. He said it was the single most productive hour of his day. It solved problems, generated ideas, and renewed his spirit. That hour made the other 14 hours immeasurably more effective. These 7 habits are not a checklist. They are an integrated, progressive cycle of growth. Independence is built on be proactive, begin with the end in mind, and put first things first. You move from dependence to being the author of your own life. Interdependence is built on think win-win, seek first to understand, then to be understood, and synergize. You move from solitary achievement to rich creative partnership. And sharpen the saw fuels the entire journey. This is the path from effectiveness to greatness. Not a greatness measured in fame or fortune, but a greatness of character. The kind of person who, at that 80th birthday party, will be celebrated not for what they acquired, but for who they were. A person of integrity, courage, and deep, abiding love. You have that person inside you. The proactive, visionary, disciplined, empathetic, synergistic, renewing you. It starts not with changing the world, but in that small, sacred space between stimulus and response, in your power to choose. Choose your map. Choose your paradigm. Choose one habit today, just one. Maybe it's pausing before you react. Maybe it's blocking 1 hour this week for your big rock. Maybe it's listening to someone, truly listening, without preparing your reply. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the single proactive step. If this roadmap resonated with you, if you're ready to move from the treadmill to the trail, we turn wisdom into actionable stories every week. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because next week we're diving into another life-changing book that will help you build on this foundation. Your journey to effectiveness starts now. I'll see you in the next video.